Hello, Scrappy Peeps. Suzanna here today, and I'm sharing with you this large photo layout created using Spring Vibes from Pinkfresh Studio that I got from a cherry on top. So this photo is of Mia in front of Northeastern University on one of our college tours. And the funny thing about this is you will note the date on the layout is actually November 7th. So I am doing a fall layout of using my spring collection. So I want to emphasize to you to not lock into a topic necessarily just because it is the topic that it is. You can use them for other purposes. So I have a old American Crafts punch to put a scallop border, and I apologize for the jumping camera. There's just no way around it. I don't know. I'm on a stable surface. I have tried. Yeah, it is what it is. So unfortunately what I did was I put the scallop on the top of the hearts, whereas I want the scallop on the bottom of the hearts. And so I thought maybe I could work my way around it and integrate it into the page, but I am going to end up repunching that. So I've cut a large green strip. I love the way that the green brings the color to the bottom of the page back, because the top of the photo really is somewhat washed out because of the sun. So note those faux paint dots that are on the right hand side. Initially when I cut this off the page they were on the left hand side, but I have intentionally put them on the right hand side of the page because my design principle here is I'm going to go on the diagonal. I know I have elements that are going to go up on that top left corner, then your eye is going to come down through the building, through the sun, through my daughter, which is in the middle of the title, Northeastern University per se, and then down to the right there. And so I wanted that very white, sort of white space within that green to help with that diagonal there. So you can see how I repunched the yellow strip with the hearts, and then I thought I could maybe integrate that bottom strip in to the bottom of the page, and I could have used it, but I really like that sort of washed out light top as it moves down from light to dark, really. And note the horizontal lines that are in this. We've got the lines of the headers that I've got up the top that then complement the roof of the building, which then complements the sign that's the Northeastern University, which then complements the line of that green piece there. So that was from one of the, I can't remember if they're I think they're 3x3 squares that I fussy cut that I really wanted to integrate into the design somehow, but I couldn't. I thought it worked well with the Northeastern University emblem in the center there, or the crest. Let's go with emblem. But I couldn't make it work with all of the other lines that are in the page here. So in retrospect, as I edit this video, I really like that 3x3 card that says happy little memories sort of poking up into the top, into the brick. It almost adds to that broken line. I may go ahead and pull pull it apart, so to speak, and lift that. I don't think I have to lift too much off, but I like it does break up the line a little bit, and so it juts over the edge the way that that top card juts over the edge as well. I kind of liked that, but as I was designing, I thought I needed to have those flush edges. So I don't know if you noticed, but in essence, that green piece is a large pocket. My hope is that Mia will journal her own reflections of Northeastern. I know it was back in November, but at least now that we've seen other colleges, this past weekend we went to Carnegie Mellon and Pitt, and so I'm hoping that maybe she can do a reflection on that, or maybe that reflection will come for the Carnegie Mellon and Pitt pictures, who knows. But my anticipation in creating that pocket was that we could either put memorabilia in there and or she could put her own hidden journaling in there. I have journaled, you will see that in the close-ups. at the top and the bottom, again connecting that visual diagonal line from top left to bottom right. So the photo is a little bit washed out, but my anticipation was that by using this blue strip here, I could kind of keep the continuity of that sky. The leaves are yellow in this picture, and I like the way that using that yellow strip really kind of pops both the blue and the yellow. And so that's why I chose to go with those colors up there. You have to be cognizant of how a cool color or a warm color can affect your photo and the embellishments that you use as well. So I have the floral ephemera pieces, and they have very thick white borders around them. So I am just going to cut that down so that the white is too distracting, especially given as washed out as the top of that photo is. And then I'm going to pop that. You can see I've popped both of the floral embellishments at the top and the bottom, creating a lot of texture to the page. So it is fall, and no, yeah, I mean, there are flowers. You can see she's sitting in front of a bunch of flowers. They're not spring flowers, but they're fall flowers, but they're flowers. And so I thought it worked with the page here. So adding a little bit more texture to the page, another layer, I have some of these chipboard frames, or I'm actually only going to use one of the frames, but I'm going to back it with that blue to pull a little bit more blue into the page. I really like the way that that blue complements the way that I'm going to call it asphalt that she's on, that layer in between the brick and asphalt and flowers and brick again. I like the way that the blue complements that as well. So using that blue pattern paper behind the frame pulled a little bit more blue in. The really bright orange up the top just gives a little bit more vitality and brightness to the top of the page as well. And now I'm just sort of sprinkling in, not sort of, I am sprinkling in ephemera pieces, just a little bit more decor to the page, and also just, I have it, so I might as well use it, right? So off camera, I'm going to go ahead and put a great big green fern leaf right now on that right-hand side where I'm messing around. I'm also going to put a green label that says love this. Again, it's just a little bit more tying in the colors across the top left to the bottom right is what that serves. I really liked this blue up here as well, but it just felt, it just didn't feel like it was cohesive. I felt like I had just kind of blobbed down bits and pieces, whereas it worked again with that on that line in that bottom pocket there. So this collection has puffy stickers. On one side you have the greens and the blues, and on the other side you have these gray, orangey, reds, yellows. So I wrote out possibilities because I cannot spell backwards to save my life. I can't spell forward to save my life either sometimes. And so I needed to make sure I got all the right letters in the right place, correct letters in the correct place. And that is the title, Possibilities. I wanted to say explore the possibilities, but possibilities fit, so I was going with that. So that wraps up this layout, large photo layout, my friends. The close-ups are to follow. If you have any questions about the product, my design concepts, please don't hesitate to leave them in the box down below. Thanks for stopping in today. I hope you're doing well. Come back again soon. Take care.